This is The Parker's Couch, a podcast delivering real talk, real laughs, with no limits. Featuring Cameron, Carlin, and Carl, the Parker brothers.
Do you or do other writers feel like they're pigeonholed or put into a box?
To a degree, yeah, because unless we get to create the shows and create some new shows, we're going to be stuck on the shows that are already made, and they tend to have like stereotypical characters, or it might be a little something different here and there, but it's kind of hard that way.
Hello, world. We are back here at the Parker's Couch. First of all, happy Juneteenth to everyone out there.
That's right.
Yes. How my brothers doing today?
Man, doing great, bro. You know who it is. The most handsome, the most debonair, back at it again.
We know.
Right.
We'll let them live.
Let me live. Let me live.
I know y'all see another beautiful face if you're seeing on video, or if you're just listening to us, you might have heard a laughter back there. But we have our beautiful, radiant, screenwriting, showrunning cousin Valencia Parker back on the couch.
What up? The most beautifulness that no, I'm playing.
Get it, cuz. Come on, cuz. Come on.
The most talented.
Come on, cuz. Get it.
You know what's funny is that you reminded me of Derek when you said that, because that's something he would totally do.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that
right there. That's what he'll do.
Absolutely. What's going on, cuz? What you been up to? You know, it's been a year, since you were back on the couch. Yeah. Our most popular episode, by the way.
I mean, well, obviously.
Of course.
I know we were talking off camera. You know, I was saying how I was looking at your social media and stuff, and I saw like some writing retreats. I saw you out at a concert. I saw with Lil Kim or something recently and stuff. Like you've been out in the streets living a little bit.
I'm gonna live the best I can live. But yeah, I like to take a little retreat, get away, get the juices flowing so I can come up with some new material, some ideas and stuff. And then, you know, just be in the streets, because this is the summer. I'm about to be outside.
Oh, that's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Summertime. I've been out in the street. Oh, it's been like every weekend straight since mid-May, pretty much. I need to slow down.
Yeah, I try to do every other weekend because I'm getting up there and I can't do what I used to do.
Hello. One weekend on, one weekend off. That's my philosophy.
And very rarely
you're getting better. Don't say that, cuz. Don't say that. You're getting better because we the same.
You're right. Because I will say I think I'm aging like fine wine. So.
That's right.
Okay. But what is your sign, Valencia?
Libra.
Oh, she's balanced.
You're like my kid. My kid's a Libra. Okay, I understand you now. I understand the Libra.
Now it all comes into play. You get it all now.
Yes. All right. I didn't know that. You're a Libra. Nice and balanced. I like that. Like Justin.
Ask her what her birthday is.
September 26th.
Of course.
Why?
Oh, exactly a month apart.
Exactly a month apart. I'm exactly a month older than you. August the 26th.
I did not know that. Well, you all right then, just because of that. You know what that makes you Virgo, right?
That's right.
Yeah, y'all all right. But you know, Libras get along with everybody. So.
Y'all do. That's how it goes. Well, we definitely want to get into some stuff with you, because definitely for those that don't know, the star showrunner here for All the Queen's Men, and we definitely want to get into some stuff about that. I know we have some thoughts, some questions.
First, we got some news, because the second half of season 4 is dropping July 24th. So make sure y'all tune in.
Woo! All right. Mark it down on the calendar.
Right.
Let me drink something from my water bottle here.
Yes. Okay,
water bottles.
Where I get one of those from? Come on, merch.
I wish they sold some merch, but it was our producer, one of our producers got it for it. This is a good old water bottle. It'll hold some ice for 24 hours.
I know that's right.
But yeah, I just felt like I flexed a little bit.
Now, we had 8 episodes in this first part. Are we getting how many?
8 more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on,
I don't know why. I do have a beef with them because I feel like they stretch it out so far in between and have the people waiting for too long.
Too long.
Why does everybody do that now?
I don't know. What's the black shows? The black shows are notorious for that.
Well, no, because I remember Curb Your Enthusiasm. That was my show, and they used to go years, and then another season, and I'd be like, I don't even remember what happened before, but it wasn't serialized. But our show is serialized, so I do feel like people have to go back and watch it, and maybe that's why they do it, so they can make people watch it again to get familiar with where we left off, and then they'll watch. But I will say, second half of season 4 is popping. So.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna put that on a little pause button.
Okay.
And we're gonna get right back there to All the Queen's Men. First off the top, like we like to talk about some current events and things like that going on. Okay. And of course, it's like full of Trump mania recently. With all the protests going on, the army just had their 250th birthday, whatever parade, which he made all about him.
Okay,
this was a disaster here in DC, but don't let them pictures fool y'all. Because
all the pictures I saw were horrible.
It was terrible.
Everybody out there.
It was empty stands, and the marching was all off beat and stuff. And I was like, "That's what you get." It rained hard the night before. I was like, thank you, ancestors. I wish it had rained the day.
The troops definitely protested. Their march was like, I don't want to be here.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I am curious with being in Cali because all we hear, it's like on fire and chaos and this like that. But whenever I hear what people out there, it's different.
I was like, where is this chaos? Because this was like last weekend. Was it last weekend? The weekend before, because it's Tuesday now. But I'm sorry, I'm not 2 days. I don't know if I'm supposed to do days or not. But when everybody was like, it's on fire, there's chaos everywhere. Let me tell you, that was one of my weekends where I was out in the streets and I was all over LA. There was no chaos anywhere. There were some peaceful protests, and they were like really in a small 2-block radius kind of situation. And nothing was going on. And then it was like, California's on fire and they burning down the streets and da 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 da. And I was like, what California are you talking about? And then some rebel rousers or whatever you call them. And then some stuff started happening. But I was like, this is all propaganda. Nothing was happening out here like that.
That's a shame. I feel like that's how it always goes with this guy.
With Trump, I know. Everything is smoke and mirrors. And he's from the TV world. So it's like, let's make it look like this. Let's just do that. And they make it happen some kind of way. But
And he's notorious for creating a problem. And
then blame it
come in and act like he's solving that very problem that he created.
Yeah. He's trash.
Yeah, that mess. I don't know. Y'all been keeping up with the protests and stuff going on, brothers?
You see my face, don't you?
Okay.
I see your face. I see what you say. You said I ain't got nothing to add to that.
Right.
Have like really good turnout for the No King's Day parade that happened on the same day.
I did see that. Yeah, it was massive. I was like, there's more people here than it is in DC.
That part.
I am curious what y'all think, because the people been out here reading the Latinos now, because they've been out here on social media talking about how we need to be out there marching with them.
Did they
marching with who?
Okay.
Okay. Y'all should have marched to the polls back in November. We wouldn't be here. How about that?
A lot of them voted against their own interests, and now they like, I don't understand. They took my uncle. Well, you voted for this, so
that's right.
And they will literally admit, like, yeah, I voted for Trump, but he was supposed to take the criminals. Come on. There's one part about this man made you say he was going to pick and choose and say, well, you all right, but you not. Come on.
Exactly.
You know better.
Yeah. So exactly. You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
A career criminal.
I think the boxer, either Garcia or whatever his name is, came out with that long statement. One of those boxers that supported Trump was like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to get these people. You're supposed to get the other people.
See,
No, you are the ones who started it.
they voted with racist intentions, and now they're getting a taste of what racism is.
Okay.
So
They getting a taste of it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what they asked for.
Mhm.
I don't feel no ways tired. I don't feel no ways like
I have no remorse.
Okay.
Nope. And I would take that one step picketing. Y'all
Yep.
enjoy your little picketing.
I'm part of the 92%. I will not
Thank
be
you.
in any of that. I will be in my warm, cozy house.
Brunching,
Okay.
having writer retreats.
Having cocktails and charcuterie boards.
Exactly.
All right. And speaking of writing, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all, and talk about this All the Queen's Men. The main reason we are here to talk with our cuz and to dive into the show. I would say I have felt like, I think the first time we talked last year, you was on, and we told you we watched early on and kind of fell off.
Mhm.
Then when we knew you was gonna be the showrunner, we was like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and get back in this. I would say it definitely was an explosive first half.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I felt like there was somebody dying about every episode. It was like,
Tyler does like his drama, so we try to give the people what they want.
yes.
Why you have to do Santiago like that?
Listen, this is the fun part of my job too, because we literally will be sitting in the room like, how can we kill this person? We have
How
to.
we get here?
I watch so much. Part of the reason why I have to do retreats also is just to clear my mind, because I watch so much murder stuff and the minds of serial killers and all that kind of stuff, so that we can kind of get into that feeling of what is diabolical, like what's going to really get the people's attention. And I was like, I got to cleanse my spirit, get some sage and whatever, because it's a lot.
There is a lot. It's a lot going on. I would definitely say that. But you're kind of getting into something I was curious about, like and explain at least to the people first about what it means to be like a showrunner and things like that.
No, I'm playing.
There we go.
But not like that. Like, I run the writer's room. So we come in with ideas and we'll pitch the ideas to the execs and say, this is what we want to do for the season, for the show overall, and for each character and their storyline specifically. And then they will approve or disapprove, and we'll come back with another if they don't approve, another storyline or whatever. But then once they approve it, then we hit the ground running, and it's, let's crank out some outlines, crank out some stories and some scripts. So, and then I oversee the room. So every story that you get came from the room. And when I say the room, it's me and 4 other writers. We just stockpile a bunch of ideas and say, oh, it'd be cool if we did this. And then we make it make sense. And then we send it on.
That's what's up. And then you do the production side too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I usually fly to Atlanta. And we shoot so quickly, like 18 episodes or 16 episodes, and we'll do it in a month.
Whoa, that is crazy.
I mean, that's Tyler though. Like, he is infamous for like, I mean, like Straw that was just on Netflix. What he brags about, like it was done in 7 days.
I know. I don't think he should brag like that.
I don't think so either. Like,
No.
If it's a big hit, then it's like, yeah, you're a genius. But if it's not, then it's like, man, why don't you take some time with this? So it's, yeah.
I got my thoughts around, yes, absolutely. Like,
I didn't watch Straw yet because I just, sometimes I'm tired of crying. I don't want to be brought down. I need happy thoughts.
Thank you.
All right.
Quick
segue, since you said that, if I could just express my thoughts. So, because you've been in some of my conversations I've been having recently with friends, because all of us that have seen Straw, and we said we are tired of the same type of trauma over and over and over, or just living in that trauma. Like, yeah, it's a story that has value and things like that to be told, but we don't want that all the time.
I know. Sometimes let's get some happy stuff. Listen, how many people do we know who have happy lives? And it's not 24/7, but there's a lot of good happy stories too. So, but I mean, in the same token, I will say that he's like, he knows his audience, and he's going to give the people what they kind of expect from him, which is some trauma.
So this is Carl Parker Jr. speaking.
What?
No one else. This is where I have a little bit of disdain for
Disdain.
for Tyler
Okay.
Perry, because he does kind of exploit black trauma. In my opinion, this is Carl Parker Jr. speaking. And when he started out, he was Christian. He made Christian plays. That was his audience. He catered to that audience. That audience got him to be able to buy a plane. So he did well with that audience. However, he has then shifted to now these stereotypical characters that he puts out, especially with black men. Now I'm gonna fight for black men because I'm just hardcore for black men. We got enough negative stuff out there on us. We don't need anybody piling up on us anymore. But a lot of his characters are seen in a negative light, especially black men.
I see what you're saying there, but I do feel like he caters to black women. And so to tell his stories to empower the black woman, I do feel like he'll make the black man look like, but there'll be one or two that are good. But yeah.
And that's where I say, for our culture, that isn't good, because we need strong black men to build families, to build our culture.
No, I agree.
And
does he hold the burden though? Is it all on him?
I don't say he holds the burden, but
he ain't doing nothing.
He's not helping. They talk a lot about black empowerment. I feel like he's done some good things for, people that he's touched in the film industry and whatnot. But there are millions that he has hurt negatively with the stereotypical stuff that he's putting out. So
that's a good point. It'd be awesome for him to do something like his next project to try and focus on uplifting the black man. Because Tyler does a lot for black people, and that you can't deny some of the things
that's right.
Done. So it would be, maybe he should take a little pivot and say, let me uplift the brothers for a minute.
I'd like to see him pivot and do something for the brothers. I know he had a couple films that he did some things for the brothers, like Daddy's Little Girls, but that was a little stereotypical. And then he did the one where he, what was it, Deeds or
No Good Deed?
No Good Deed.
And he had a show called Bruh. I don't know if it ever got an official cancellation because I haven't seen it.
Did
I feel like it's
still? I don't know. I thought
it didn't get no airplay.
Yeah,
it
was supposed to be Bruhs and Sisters, and Sisters you hear all the time. I never hear anything about Bruhs anymore. So
I never hear anything about Bruh. I didn't even watch that one, so I don't even know.
I can't lie, I didn't either. I was busy.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, all his shows, a lot is going on.
I tried to watch it because I was like, well, hey,
maybe
we're gonna have something about the bros on here, but it had some junk in there, and I was just like, nah, this ain't for me.
Everything ain't for everybody.
Yes. And I want to jump back into all the Queens men, but we're gonna come back to some more Black TV talk too, and stuff there. But all right. I had some questions. I was just wondering, like, what goes on in the writer room, or like research. All right, when they're in the strip club, the stripping scenes. and the choreography and all this. Like, who works on that stuff?
So I've taken it upon myself to go to male strip clubs every weekend. No, I'm playing. I'm lying. No, you know what? We make it up. Like well, I don't know. The female writers and myself have been to a male strip club at least once. And I don't want to put one of my writers on blast, but one of the males used to love going to the strip club. So he kind of knows the life. And then we also would talk to the actors because I would say, let me see, the guy Babyface, Doc, and Trouble, and Midnight were all dancers before, are still dancers. Well, some of them are still dancing, some of them ain't. In fact, I think only two of them are still dancing. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, they were dancers, so they know the life, and they were really good about talking to us. And we don't call ourselves strippers, we're dancers. Like stuff like that. That I was like, and I'm a stripper, and and they was like, no, I would never say that. Or we had a scene with a glass dildo and involving Trouble, the female one. Yeah. And she was like, we would never use a glass dildo. Like that's something frowned upon in the lesbian community. And I was like, oh, I did not know that. So, information that I wouldn't have known, but that's so we can present a true, we can present a true picture. So they're very good about being open about their exploits and stuff. And then
so they're very hands-on.
I wouldn't say they're hands-on in the writing. Just if we have questions about something, they'll be like, that's and honestly, the glass dildo thing happened on set. Like she read the scripts or whatever. And then when we got on set, she was like, so we would never da-da-da-da. So it was like, oh, okay, I can make a change. And we made the changes. So yeah, it's, they can chime in and stuff. I'm never going to be like, don't talk to me about the scripts, what's on the page, say it, Although I do be like, yo, say what's on the page.
So you have thousands of dildos on set, is what you're saying?
No. But we do have a plethora. We have a lot. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this show. But
Midnight needs everything the way he be getting it in.
Man, Midnight be getting it in.
Yeah, some of the reviews not reviews, but people comment and stuff, and a lot of comments was like, "Dang, does he do anything else but dance and fuck?" I was like, "Oh."
Pretty much, tear it down.
But Midnight is one of my favorite characters to write for because he's just like sex, drugs, rock and roll. Like, let's go.
He's making fantasies happen, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty much who he is.
Yeah. So
with an occasional murder accomplice.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
Hide a body every now and again, but who doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what gets on my nerves though?
What?
Detective Davis.
Oh, of course she's supposed to.
She gets on my ever-living nerves.
Good.
I'm really mad to get a hold of her.
I love comments like that because it means that the character that we're creating is doing.
You're doing the right thing.
Yeah, she's doing the job.
Yeah,
she's
doing the job.
People love to meet her, so yay.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but Kiki's actually really nice. The woman who plays Detective Davis, really nice. Oh, I will say this cast is really cool. Like, there's usually one person and you like, oh, this person gets on my nerves or whatever. But our cast is really good. They're just like good-natured people. So
yeah.
You can tell the chemistry is really good on set through the work.
Yeah.
And without revealing, I know you can't say what's going to happen necessarily in the second half. I am curious, like with Madam in Blue, because you see the cracks and stuff forming in there.
Yeah,
the fissures.
And stuff. Yeah, like
I'm not telling you nothing.
I know that's right.
Have to watch and see. But I will say, like, when we shot this at the end of season 4, it was like, yo, we did our big one with this. Like, it's great. I'm very proud of season 4.
Okay,
that's good. Yes, I'm ready for the dime. I know what's coming. I know what is coming.
You think?
When I saw episode 2, I said, I see what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, you know what's coming down, but you don't know how it's going to play out.
I don't know how it's going to end. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, and this is what I'll say about this show too. I think when it first started, and no shade against Tyler, but I do feel like he does a lot at one time, and I think his character is moving slowly, and so you didn't get a chance to really see any of the lives of the characters outside of the club. Yeah, and part of that is budget. Like he's like, we're not gonna be doing all these sets and having them going every which way. So I get that, but you know, you still want to see the growth in the characters, so they're not just like Midnight, just having sex and dancing. You know, you want to see different growths and stuff with them. And I will say, like, I'm starting to see, not I'm starting to see because we wrote it, but my goal was to have them grow so you could see, you know, like they were there at this point in season 1 and look at them in season 4. Like there's been some growth. So
yeah, and I do appreciate that. Oh, go ahead, brother.
Well, I was going to say that I think that has a lot to do with your influence, because before there wasn't any depth to the characters. Now you're starting to see some. So that
was important to me because I didn't want to just like, as a writer, and you come on something when something's already done, like they did the first season or whatever, and you know where the characters are or whatever, your job is to still take the essence of those characters. Like you can't just rewrite them into something new.
That's right.
You'll have to keep who they are true, but then you want to see some changes because we're people, like we change, so their characters should change too, you know. So that was very important to me to make sure we see some growth in them. So I'm glad that you can see that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There are like a lot of side stories that are going on now. That has me curious. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen with Babyface and Quincy and this father-son?
Oh God,
father-son dynamic.
Like, oh, she got pregnant by Bit D. Is that his baby?
What's going on?
Like, what's going on?
We want to know.
Like, is she pregnant by Big D? I don't know. Is she pregnant at all? I ain't saying nothing.
It's just indigestion. That's right. The Toms.
Right.
Okay. Yes. She just had bubble guts.
She had bubble gut.
Y'all ain't right.
No, people go out and watch it. It is getting explosive. It is exciting. I would say with Eva's, you know, Eva being the main and like Madam is hard. Madam is hardcore. I feel like I see a little soft side when it comes to her father, but outside of that,
we have a hard time getting the soft side of Madam through. Like it'll be like, can we show her a little bit more sensitive to it? No.
That's what like is anything gonna creep in the show?
Yeah, they're like, we want to see such and show grow. Okay, that's fine. We want to see Madam. Nah, let's leave her where she is. And it's like, let's give, you know. So we'll get little pieces of stuff in. So we'll. But you'll see.
She's getting her medication. She's getting her meds. Cause baby.
Well, they don't kill that doctor now, so I don't know how she gonna get them.
They gotta work something. What Tommy got it?
She'll figure it out.
She'll work it out.
We'll be all right. Yeah. But yeah, we try to do a little bit more of a softer side. And honestly, well, I don't even know if I think Christian said something on his Instagram. We did do a season 5. So
all right, season 5.
Yeah, he did say something on Instagram about it.
Come on, 5 seasons.
Because they didn't announce it yet. So it's
right.
So you will see a little bit more of that going forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. No, because we could definitely feel your influence, and I feel like there's more character development kind of happening.
Yeah.
With these characters. Y'all got anything else on this?
Can we get an invite to the launch party? How about that?
Launch party? We don't be having no parties.
What?
We don't have launch parties. We don't have rap parties. Nothing.
What's going on? Come on, Tyler.
We got no rap party.
Tyler, opening up the
shoot literally.
Tyler keeping that budget tight, baby.
We shoot 60
planes.
Huh?
Tyler keeping that budget tight. He got to fuel them planes up.
Yeah,
I see.
Pay for it. Like at the end of shooting, if people were like, I got energy, y'all want to go get drinks, we'll do that. But we usually will shoot like 21 days and we're shooting 18 episodes in 21 days. And
Oh man.
Oh my
Man,
goodness.
that is
It's like a soap opera.
Yeah, so at the
Soap
end,
opera
it's like,
schedule.
goodbye, Merry Christmas, see y'all next
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to see nobody.
I don't want to see nobody's face.
year.
No.
I'm going back to the room and going to sleep.
Yeah.
That is wow.
How long is the typical day?
Our days aren't that bad because we start usually around 9 and then we'll finish around 9 or 10. And then as the time goes by, we might get a little bit longer and then we'll do like a super long day and then we'll be shorter because you have to have a 12-hour turnaround. So, and this is during production. During writing, I don't even think I should say it because they're going to be like, you're not taking enough time in the room. We work from 10 to 5 sometimes. Well, I'll say 10 to 6. And
Okay.
I got to watch my shows at night.
I got to go. Right.
I was just talking to another writer the other day, and she just got married, and her husband is like, what do you do all day? Why don't you have some food on the table when I come home? And she's like, I'm tired. I've been writing all day. And he's like, you've been writing. You can make some chicken. It's not like we're digging ditches, but it really is taxing on your brain, and you feel weary at the end of the day.
Oh, I believe it.
I can believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that definitely is. All right, we like to do what on here what we call our For the Culture segment. And we kind of got into some of it too. And since we have our brilliant writing cousin here, thought we would talk about kind of like the state of Black television, kind of just in your estimate, and just have kind of like a round table kind of discussion on this and using Tyler Perry as a catalyst. Because
I feel like he is the catalyst because there's not a lot of Black TV out here right now, especially on prime time. Like we're getting more on Netflix, or I can't even say Netflix, but because that's Tyler, his deal with Netflix,
right?
People to Netflix. But as far as like some of the other streamers and stuff, there's not a lot. So Tyler is really the only one who's cranking out Black TV constantly for the culture. Everybody else, like, it's hard to get stuff through. But I will give you a recommendation. I just started watching this show called Duster on Max. Yeah. And
I've seen that on preview.
I like that. I think it's a really good show. It's like 70s, set in the 70s. Yeah. The soundtrack is bomb. And it's co-written by J.J. Abrams, who did Lost, but also LaToya Morgan, who was a Black woman. And she did her big one on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look it up.
Recommendation.
Okay. So that's a great recommendation. I'm definitely gonna look that up. Yeah. I was curious too, even like how the scene of Hollywood now, being a Black writer in Hollywood. Do you feel like there are more opportunities for you? Is it like the same as it always been, or is it like?
No, in some ways it's the same, in some ways it's different. When I first got out here, there was the WB and UPN were in the heyday. So there was like the Black shows, and we all were kind of on the same lot. So we all were together. Everybody knew each other, and it was fun, but it was like, we got to branch out. And I remember Saladin Patterson got on Frasier, and everybody knew who he was. Like, even if you never saw him, met him, or whatever, you knew his name as a Black writer because it was like he made it to network.
Right.
Everybody else was in what we call the ghetto. It wasn't even the ghetto, but it was just all the Black people were on UPN and WB. And so then UPN kind of etched us out and was like, we're going to do teen dramas. And then WB fell off, and it was just like, where are we going? So there was, I was fortunate enough to get on My Wife and Kids. And then there was Bernie Mac. And I feel like that was it. As far as outside of WBUPN situation. Yeah. So then it was a struggle for a good long time. And then when the streamers started picking up, we would see a little work here, a little work there. But I can't say it's been bomb for us. Like, it's still hard. I do feel like after 2020, and it was like, you got to do a little bit of DEI and it helped us. I'm not gonna front. It helped us a lot, but it's not like we weren't talented. They were hiring their friends. They were like, I'm bringing on my cousin's son and whatever. And it was like, well, what about the people who actually have the credentials? Why can't you hire them? So then it was like, you got to bring in one or two. So we got a little work then. And I think a couple people were able to move up the chain and then create some more stuff. And you have like All American and, stuff like that, like good shows, mostly dramas. I will say most of the Black people are on dramas. Even me, listen, I never thought I'd ever be on a drama. Like, I was comedy from the beginning, and it was like, that's all I do. That's all I had as far as my writing samples.
Yeah.
This job really was God. Like a friend of mine who I just found out like a year ago that he turned my name into one of the execs at Tyler Perry, because I don't know. I didn't even know how they got my name. I was like, oh, they must have just found my credit somewhere and was like, let's talk to her. But she was like, no, Darnell called me and was like, you should check out Valencia. And I was like,
oh, awesome.
Okay.
I was like, so sweet. And he never said anything to be like, I got this job for you. It wasn't even like that. So I was just like, you never know when people are watching, and you never know who's saying your names in the right rooms.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Reliving Single podcast. Have you listened to that yet?
The who? The Living Single?
Reliving Single. Yeah.
No, I haven't. I just saw something about that. I was like, oh, that's cool.
They touched on the effects of being torn Black television during the era, and they talked about what you were talking about, how is taking a drastic change with the availability of Black talent to get into these rooms and opportunities.
There's so much Black talent. It's like overflowing, and it's like we just need shows to put these people on.
Right.
But the problem is, well, I don't know what the whole problem is, but part of the problem is that we can't get through. Well, new projects can't get through. They'll buy something that's a remake of something, or like, let's just do a different version of this. But it's like, what about new material? How about let's take some pilots with people and make some new shows? But they don't want to bet on it because they don't want to bet on Black. But they need to know, I'm Black.
Well, that was my question. Do you or do other writers feel like they're pigeonholed or put into a box, a certain genre, and you can't get out of that? Like there's a ceiling?
To a degree, yeah, because unless we get to create the shows and create some new shows, we're going to be stuck on the shows that are already made, and they tend to have like stereotypical characters, or it might be a little something different here and there. But for the most part, if we're not creating it, it's going to be a stereotypical character. So it's kind of hard that way. I like right now, I was going to write another drama, and then I was like, well, I'm going to write that eventually, but I have a comedy in mind, but it's an animated comedy. And I'm like, maybe I can sneak an animated comedy under the radar.
Right.
You just never know. But yeah, I do feel like we're kind of stuck in that box because they won't buy new material from people. And I will say this too. They tend to buy pilots every year from the same people. And I don't know what kind of hookups they got, but I'll hear this year, every year, such and so sold a pilot. Did they sell one last year? Yeah. Again, the next year. They never get made, but they will sell a pilot. So I'm like, in my opinion, I'm like, they're buying stuff from certain people just so they can be like, we bought pilots from Black
So we did say we did something.
Right.
Up on the air. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Never made sense.
Crazy.
That's sad.
It's a shady business in a lot of ways.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is. And I feel like it's hard to get something to stick.
Yeah.
I feel like something, even if we get something, it gets canceled. Like
I was gonna say, in this day and age, because there's so many channels and there's so much material, that stuff can get made and you never even know. You never see it because you're just bogged down with content, and it's just hard. You have to really have somebody attached who is like a big name who's going to move the needle, as they say, and then you might get some press or whatever. But it's hard.
And kind of with that said, and to bring it back like to who we do have, like Tyler Perry. Like we see a lot of Tyler has a lot of shows.
Every time I turn around, this show got another deal and another show, and I'm like,
a lot going on.
Black people can do this.
Yes, and I feel like we've always, whenever we're able to exist, it's only a select few that are allowed to, and he is that. We have 50 Cent, who does like all the power stuff and going on.
Yeah.
I was reading something the other day, and 50 like tripped me out whenever he was sticking up for Tyler Perry, because he always does on social media and stuff.
He's trying to follow that same business.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, I think anyone who talks bad about Tyler Perry should die." I mean, we all
on the most with that statement. Jeez.
Like, geez, 50. But
talk about Die Hard, okay.
We do talk some trash about like it's a respect for Tyler, and then there's the side, we got into some things here. We could pick back up some things if we want. But I want to know, do you think there's something like that people don't understand about Tyler? Or
I think there's a lot. Like, I do feel like Tyler had a rough upbringing, and his story is really, it's uplifting to some is depressing, however you want to look at it. He did he went from nothing to something, and he built it, and it wasn't easy, and he had to I think his first play, he had spent all his money and he was banking on it for the rent and the car note and all that stuff, and 30 people showed up, and he was just like, well, it's a wrap here, that kind of stuff. It builds character. But he has something in him that was like, I got to keep going because I do feel like this is my purpose and I'm supposed to do this. And he kept going, and look what it ended up being. You know what I mean? So it's resilience. And Junior's like,
Well, no, I mean, I respect it. Don't get me wrong.
I respect the hustle, because he really did.
I respect Tyler's hustle. I respect his perseverance and all that, and I would never discount what he's done on his own merit. He's done quite a bit for the community. I just the reason why 50 is backing Tyler, in my opinion, this is Carl Parker Jr. speaking, is because he is in the same mode as Tyler, but on the opposite end of the spectrum. 50 is a crime,
that's
power guy,
yeah,
and Tyler is on the other end of the spectrum. And that negativity sells for white people. White people will like for us to have that.
And you hit that on the head too. It's easier for them to sell stuff because it is stuff that white people find palatable.
Yeah.
But to see like a happy Black woman frolicking around the city, they're gonna be like,
no, we don't want
that. No, thank you.
Yeah.
We don't want that. So from that aspect, I understand why, hey, they're hustling, they're going to get it while they can, and they're bringing people along with them. I'm not hating on them for that. Listen, I appreciate that.
I will never say nothing bad about Tyler. That joker got me out of credit card debt, put me back into business.
That's what I'm talking about. So
as much as you can disagree with maybe the content or whatever they put out, they are doing good for good people.
They are doing good. 50 has done that for some people as well. And I can, I appreciate that part of it. I just know that we have more in our community than just what we're seeing there.
I agree.
A lot of stories are left untold.
Yeah, the hope is to get more material out there that showcases more of us, because we're not a monolith. If we don't just have drugs and we don't just have life piling up on us and we want to rob a bank, or I'm not sure what Straw's about.
Right.
That's kind of it. So it's like, there's an in-between part that we need to see too.
And then we also have a fantasy brain, a sci-fi brain, an animated brain. Like
animated. Yeah.
So many
anime.
different brilliant ways to tell stories.
Yeah.
There's just not enough out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the theory, though, in my mind, is that it's out there. They're just not buying it. Because I know too many people who have pilots that I've read some of them and just heard about, like log lines from some, and like, oh, this would be so good, and they can't sell it. So
I appreciate you saying that, because that's something I never even thought about. Like maybe some of the things are getting picked up.
They're trying. So it's just a matter of right time, right place, I guess.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I guess it's going to take, this is what makes me mad, my little soapbox. Whenever we had things like when we were in control of things like a BET and stuff like this. And this is my like kind of beef with Tyler, I guess I would say, with him to have his studios the way that he does. I think there's still too much like of wanting that independent control rather than branching out. Like I can't tell people how to use their money or spend their money, but I wish we would have, for me, more of a community perspective of getting different people in seats to have their ideas and stuff presented on TV. It's no way like BET should not at this point in life been our network showcasing so many.
That's my soapbox moment. Like BET, this was our channel, Black Entertainment Television. Like to me, this channel should be chock full of all kinds of Black stories.
Yes.
And I don't see it. Honestly, I feel like Tyler, he don't run BET, but most of the content on BET.
He pretty much do.
Right. So he has his studio. Why don't y'all let him do that and do some other stuff? Or just not necessarily take, and I'm not trying to take money out of Tyler's pocket, although he don't need no more, but whatever. But I'm just saying, like, BET should be so, like, they should be picking up so many other things so that see, like, this is our channel and this is all of us, you know what I mean? Like you said, anime and animation and happy stories, love stories, sad stories, whatever, just the whole gamut. And I just don't see that from BET. That's a gripe of mine. I just feel like they have the opportunity to do it, but I'm not seeing it.
Wasn't BET purchased by Caucasian?
It's owned by now, right?
Viacom.
Yeah.
Viacom, right?
Yeah, I think they're Jewish, I believe.
Yeah.
It came out of our hands. Like
it came out of our hands because Mr. Johnson let it go.
Robert Johnson probably
but
the ball.
Before then, he sold it. I mean, all we had was Teen Summit and
that's right. Rap City.
Rap City. Yeah. I wish we had we need like a Sinclair Broadcasting Black network. Because Sinclair Broadcasting is buying up all these stations and turning them into like these conservative stations. We just need someone in our community to do that for us, like band together and create our own like technical network like that to kind of get where we need to go.
Yeah, it sounds great. I don't know how we can.
I don't know how we're gonna get there. We know the vision, but how to get there is the problem.
The journey is gonna be the hard part, but
yes,
there at some point. I hope. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Well, you're doing the legwork. You're helping us get closer. We appreciate that.
Something, but I mean, I can do more if they let me. Give me some money. Like I just need to find a really good investor. I was just talking about somebody else. But I need a good daddy business wise. So I can do some things and help some people, but do some things for our people.
Right.
Yeah.
Nope. It seems like we all got similar soapboxes. We are united in this. All right. All right. This last little bit, let's move on to, you talked a little bit about new projects, some stuff you're working on. Just kind of curious there, like, any hints of what you're writing?
No, nothing has been sold. I'm just writing some stuff to try and sell. So we'll see.
Yeah. If you need some help from your cousins over here, some co-writers, go ahead and start the Google Doc and we're going.
Right. A collaborative effort.
Okay.
Yes, let's turn it out. All right, but let's get to some other stuff on your TV. Now, Carl Parker, you might have to take a little back seat here. We fill you in on some of the juicy gossip going on because our cuz is a Bravo fan.
You know
And
it.
we pay attention to the Bravo over here, down here in DC.
We're gonna see Carl in the corner like this.
He's taking a nap.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with the Housewives first and
Right.
go like are you watching Atlanta this season?
Of course I am. What kind of question is that?
Well, I mean, they've been so up and down. Like, it's not. Well, let me get
No.
your estimate.
I feel some giving from you. You was like, it's not giving.
Do you feel like they are like back to what it used to be, or?
And it'll probably never be back to what it used to be. But I will say I'm enjoying the season, especially the last couple episodes that they've been in Barbados. Is it Barbados? Where are they?
Granada.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that. I don't care for 2 of the 3 new housewives on there.
Oh,
Britt can kick rocks, and she will because she's suing Bravo, I believe. So
Yeah.
oh yeah, she got it there. She's goodbye.
You're left for like 20 or 30 mil or something.
Yeah.
she's not gonna win, and she's not gonna have a job. She's stupid.
So, brother, so this season there was this big controversy because this new wife, Britt Edie, Kenya Moore, she was on there. I don't know if you remember Kenya Moore. She was a household name back in the day, but she like pretty much had these pornographic.
Shamed her.
Yeah, she had these pornographic pictures that was supposed to be her performing acts.
Felicia.
Yes.
It was Britt though, right?
No. The lawsuit.
Allegedly not.
Britt is saying it wasn't even her on the photos, and she's saying that Bravo didn't let her view the pictures before they were shown.
Well,
So it's like all this stuff like ruined her character, and it's not even her being shown on the pictures.
If it wasn't her, how does she have a case? She just showed pictures.
Well, because it was presented as her, so it's like defamation of
character.
Like type thing, and like in a hostile work environment, because she said Bravo knew this wasn't her, but yet they allowed it to be portrayed as her.
Listen, she's walking a fine line because she said a lot of stuff about I got a gun in my pocket or whatever.
Yeah.
I can come back and shoot her. She could be sued for a bunch of stuff too. So she really needs to sit down somewhere.
What?
So Kenya got
why is this show still on?
Well,
like me,
because we're watching it.
Yeah, it's a bunch of that.
I remember hearing about this show like 10 years ago or something.
Oh my God, it's been on for what is it, season 20 something?
Yeah, 20. Yeah,
it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
15, yeah.
It has evolved over the years, and it's not just a bunch of cat fights and stuff. There was a really good sisterhood moment at the end of this episode before last week. One of the wives' children was going through some stuff, and they all kind of band together. You saw the sisterhood and whatnot. So it's not just a bunch of crazy, but it is a lot of crazy.
It's a lot of crazy.
Not any of the original people that was on there are still on there, are they?
No, it's all new people.
I was going to say, because those people are like grandparents now. They're old.
Oh,
they've been fixing faces and stuff. They look.
They are grandparents, though. They all are grandparents.
He's a grandma, I know.
That's so funny. But it's funny you should say that, because the rumor is, at least that's been going on today or the last couple of days, is that Bravo is thinking about canceling the Housewives series because of this Britt Edie lawsuit. Have you heard that?
Really? No, I hadn't heard that.
That's what the rumor is. Don't know.
You know how much money they make off of the Housewives franchise?
They were saying like all the lawsuits between, like they keep getting hit with all these.
Well, it wasn't TMZ. It was Jasmine. No shade to the Jasmine brand, but the Jasmine brand has been wrong a lot.
Yeah.
So it was
from TMZ. I'll believe it. Anybody else? I got
$20 million is a drop in the bucket for that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
They got. I mean, I can't even count all the cities. And I watched them all.
And the ones over and the iterations overseas that we don't even talk about.
And I've watched some of them, which are decent.
I don't believe it either. I didn't believe that rumor. It doesn't really make sense.
Housewives ain't going nowhere.
Speaking of new ones, what do you think of Rhode Island?
Rhode Island.
Until you said something about it, I was like, and I was shocked that I didn't know, because I usually keep my ear to the street, but Yeah.
You know about Rhode Island?
I didn't know anything about it.
Oh.
But I do feel like it's going to be very close to Jersey because
Oh, it's been very Jersey.
Jersey's
Yeah.
your favorite. So, like,
I heard Black Dolores is going to be on there, but I think she's the only one.
Black Dolores.
Yes.
Is that going to be the segue to start it? She knows somebody over there, and that person.
I think she's a friend of, though. I'm not sure.
Okay. Wait, she's leaving Jersey to be on the Rhode Island?
Well, Jersey's not coming back.
Ever?
That's what I want to ask you
about. We don't know.
Is still a reboot going on or a recasting?
I feel Jersey can be done because I'm done with the Teresa and the what's the sister?
Melissa.
And I like Melissa. I hate Teresa. I'm sick of their drama. And everybody is just split everybody down the middle, and it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Fight every episode, so it can go.
It got really nasty at the end. Like they can X that out.
Yeah, but I still don't know if Rhode Island is going to bring it. But I mean, it depends on the characters.
I don't know. Rhode Island is filled with a bunch of racist people.
I just feel like
it's gonna be
another white fest. I don't know.
It's gonna be some drama. It's gonna be some scandal to come out because you know they don't be vetting people.
But Cam, that show that you did was good though. And they shot it in Rhode Island, right?
Part of the cast was in Rhode Island, so I did work on the Bravo show back in the day.
Okay,
I worked on it had one season called Game of Thrones, and it was about Mrs.
America.
Beauty contestants, and it was between.
Probably would have done well later.
Yeah, it came too early. Yeah,
it was before his time,
and they had a nasty lawsuit too. I think that's kind of ended that show.
Yeah, yeah, doing that. But yeah, I was like, oh, these Rhode Island people racist.
Never,
I used to live. I certainly don't want to watch that. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't watch Dallas, and I didn't think any of them were racist. I just didn't like any of them, so I stopped watching that one.
It was boring. I watched maybe like half a season.
Yeah, I was like, I'm cool on them, but the other ones I watch.
Are these housewives? Are these housewives cities y'all talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What else you watching?
Why so many cities? What is going on here?
Oh, it's so many.
What other? I'm trying to think of a Bravo show that Carl would like, and I don't know if there.
I don't think there's one that exists. Maybe one of the summer houses.
Man, he ain't gonna watch no summer.
The Martha's Vineyard. You can watch the Martha's Vineyard.
They're not even doing no more.
I didn't feel like they were because I didn't really like all of them either.
Me neither.
Which I'm mad at because I really wanted to love that show, but I do watch the other Summer House though. I do like it, and I hate to say this because I'm blackity black and down for everybody black, but I can't stand Gabby.
Oh, the Summer. See, I don't watch
Summer House.
I don't know. I think I know who that is though.
Here's the thing: nobody knows who she is because she doesn't have a personality of her own. She just was there to be Lindsay's little dog, whatever, so she could. Lindsay, and then this last season she was fighting for Lexi, and it's like, how about we learn something about you? How about you just come on here and do something for yourself instead of being everybody's lapdog? So I don't care for her, but that's it.
The library is open. Just reading things.
Yeah, she.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't watch too much. Like, I just pay attention to a few of the Housewives series, and outside of that, I don't really watch too much.
I used to watch Below the Deck. Some of those.
I used to watch the Mediterranean one.
Yeah, the Mediterranean one.
Not a new one yet. And I don't watch the one. There's a hot captain, and he looks good, but I don't watch his show. It's Australia, maybe, or I don't know. There's like the Down Under. I think it's called Down Under. And then there's like the speedboat or something. I don't watch that one either. So the only Below Deck I watch is Mediterranean with Captain Sandy.
Well, that's our Bravo. Cause I don't know if there was anything else burning Housewives story wise that had you.
Please no.
No, I'm just gonna talk junk about that Next Generation show.
That nasty girl.
I can't say it's trash, but
I have watched that.
That girl is so nasty.
Which one?
They don't wash her hands. Want to wash her hands?
Oh, I don't know.
She was so
Girl that
disgusting.
doesn't wash her hands.
She doesn't wash her
the
hands.
bottom of somebody's shoe, then wiped the eye, went in the bathroom and was like, I don't wash my hands after I pee. And
Oh, now see, they
Is
shouldn't
this
even
a young girl or
sitting there
something?
like that on TV.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
you don't
got to
want
be a young girl.
yeah.
that's disgusting. And I'd be like, don't touch me. I don't care what we filming, don't touch me.
And to your point, Carl, the housewives have been on so long that they have a next generation. So it's like the housewives' kids,
The kids.
the rich people.
And that's why I don't like it. I just feel like it's straight up nepotism. Like, just because your mama was a housewife doesn't mean you deserve a show. But
Right.
if it's good, I just will not participate.
Entitled. Boy,
Yeah,
I couldn't
exactly.
stand that.
And I'm saying I'm not going to participate, but if something good happens and I see a preview and I'll be like, I might watch it. But
You gotta
I know,
see
yeah.
what young people are doing. Because even though I got a Gen Z kid, like I don't understand these people.
I don't either. So
It's from another planet.
out of it.
They really are. Their entertainment is different. What they find funny and
Yeah.
enjoyable.
They
It's just
are
like,
from another planet.
Their little fights and stuff is not going to entertain me like I want. So
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't understand that at all. I
mhm.
don't know. All right. Well, it is Juneteenth, and I thought on our way out, in celebration of Juneteenth, we can all kind of like recognize somebody if there's someone on our mind. It could be somebody in the past, present, who's done something dope lately in Black culture that y'all want to uplift.
Well, one, I do want to give a shout out to my niece Sydney, who graduated from high school today. So shout out to Sid.
Yes.
Shout
Congratulations.
All right, cuz.
Hi. On to college.
Okay, she's going to Temple.
Okay,
Okay.
people.
Okay.
I tried to get her to go
cuz.
to Hampton, but Thurman was like, "Nah, I'm not paying that Hampton money."
You trying to get her to go to Hampton?
You know I was,
Hampton?
but
What
I
about
couldn't
that,
make it.
cuz?
Couldn't make it.
In the
Hampton
Philly streets.
University. I remember seeing you on the campus when I used
I
to
remember freshman.
peruse that
Well,
campus.
I bet you were, cause shoot, nothing happened at William and Mary.
That's
That
right.
nothing
In Williamsburg.
Nothing at all.
Not like it was down at HU.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Valencia, what was he doing around that campus?
He was just being a big man on campus, pimping. Don't
I
play.
bet
Uh-oh.
he had that walk going on and
Was he
everything.
strutting like a peacock?
And I was like, "Oh my God, is that my cousin?" And my friends was like, "Oh, is that your cousin?"
He's so tall. Oh.
Hey, man, I don't know about you.
Yeah. Those were the good old days.
Right?
Mhm.
Well, Colin down there, you want to kick it off?
Oh yeah, my shout out is to our sister Opal Lee, our queen. She's titled the grandmother of Juneteenth.
Okay.
She actually was very instrumental in getting Juneteenth as a federal holiday. She walked from Fort Worth, Texas, at the age of 86, all the way to Washington D.C. in 2016.
Dang.
And she's still with us. So I want to give her a shout out, give her flowers while she's still here.
That's from all that walking. I can't get my 10,000 steps a day, and she don't want me.
Okay, from Fort Worth, Texas to DC at
That's
86.
what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Wow.
Dang.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy.
I mean, but you know what? Our civil rights leaders, they were built different. I don't know
Way different.
now, but yeah, we don't got it like they had it.
We have our challenges, but it's not what they were faced with.
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
Trying to get people to boycott Target still, and they be like, "But I need to go and."
Thank you. Okay, see, that's why we're cousins. Stay out of Target, people.
That was easy for me to drop. I'm like, I ain't gotta go there.
Yeah.
I am
You
good.
know, listen, I was a die-hard Target person. Like, during the pandemic, Target got me through the pandemic. I would just walk around and be like, "Oh, this is so nice in here, and let me get this, and I'll pick up a little of that." And I just felt like they did us so dirty. It's
They
personal.
did.
You know, I
It
don't
is
shop at
personal.
other places either, but Target is like, "Nah, nigga, y'all did us wrong."
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, Carl, you got somebody?
I'll say Mary Elizabeth Parker and Leroy Parker. Give them a shout out.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we have a long lineage of individuals that have done tremendous things in their lives, and we're continuing to aspire to do even greater things. And we're looking at 4 people right now that are offspring of our grandparents of greatness.
Yes.
And legacy is what I see, and legacy is more than material things. It's the character that you've been built with, and they instill some character in us. So that's my shout out right there.
Nice.
Amen, amen, amen.
Okay, let the church say amen.
Yes.
These tributes are amazing. I'm gonna keep it a different direction and keep it current, just to get a little sports into the episode.
Yeah, I feel like I took y'all away from the sports part. I'm sorry.
You are totally fine, cuz. But just to uplift Miss Coco Gauff,
Coco
becoming the second Black woman to win the French Open, winning her second Grand Slam there, and really setting a new trailblazing way. And I want to shout out the way that she won in grace, even despite all the negativity.
Oh, yes.
Her.
Sabalenka. Boo.
Sabalenka and all that. Like, I feel like that's an ancestral strength.
Yes.
That always had as a people is some way to be graceful in any circumstance when people don't deserve it. I feel like, but it's like innate
graceful.
right.
They gonna get what they get now. When I hit 40, I was like, I'm done.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
But
coming out guns a blazing.
Shout out to Miss Coco.
Shout out Coco.
And the fact that everybody was like, well, the Williams sisters, whatever, it's just in their genes. But no, it's in all of our Black genes.
Thank you.
Come on.
Any last thoughts?
I'm just so happy that I get to hang with the brothers today.
Yes.
And we were so excited to have you on, cuz. So
yes.
Great.
Absolutely.
It's a nice family reunion right here.
Okay.
It was.
Yes.
I'm not gonna make it to the one in July.
No.
And y'all, and people, make sure that you are watching All the Queens, man. Go follow our beautiful cousin Valencia Parker on Instagram and all the things to keep up with what's going on. I even seen some little TikToks of you going on with some interviews and stuff that's been happening and stuff. You be
do it.
Out there doing it.
She's a boss.
This is the second year.
Pop off,
It's my second year on the couch. So in the third year,
I'm going to have a show on the air. I'm going to have my own show.
See,
there we go.
I was about to say, if I'm
about.
going to
Bring
say
it out
like
there in the atmosphere.
one of these
That's
years,
what
it's
I'm
going to be a
talking
short featured film or something. It's going to be something going on. I could definitely see you.
Maybe a full-length feature.
Maybe a full length.
There we go.
You never know.
Come on.
I'm waiting
That's what
for
I'm
that.
talking about, cuz.
I am
Speak
waiting
it.
for that.
Okay, we're going to manifest that.
We're
That's
going to
right.
manifest it. All right. With that
It's July 24th, second half. Is it the 24th? Yeah, July 24th.
Yeah, July 24. Yep.
Second half.
Mark it on your calendar.
And make sure you watch. BT Plus.
Watch.
Got it.
I will be there.
This has been a Rosie B production. Follow the Parker's Couch on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Podbean, and wherever you get your podcast sourcing.